I'm pretty sure that there are many people who would say that you cannot really teach robotics or engineering purely by e-learning. And in some ways, these people are correct, because they presume that engineering needs a hands-on approach. And they often regard e-learning as something that happens through a web browser, so there is no hands-on activities. But what I will show you today is that that does not necessarily have to be true. And when the situation in March urged us to switch to e-learning, the teachers at University of Tartu in the field of robotics were not caught by surprise. We were actually quite prepared. And we were prepared partly because we have done e-learning of engineering in the past. We've done e-learning electronics and e-learning robotics. Also, pretty much all of our courses right now already have some sort of an e-learning support, so our teachers are used to using those tools. And we have started, even before this crisis, in collaboration with some European partners, developing even more e-learning tools for engineering and robotics. So let me share some of these examples with you. For instance, a couple of years ago, we did an electronics MOOC, a massive open online course for general public in Estonia. And at first, each e-learning course, it would have online tutorials, videos, some interactive quizzes for self-testing. But in addition to that, the learners could buy a kit that would consist some electronic devices, some measurement tools, and they would have tasks that they would solve at home using this kit. They would actually assemble electronic circuit boards, measure some of the physical characteristics, and then they would record the solution, and they would even get instructor's approval. And the same model was also applied to a robotics course, but here, instead of an electronics kit, the learners would have access to a robot, a tiny little robot that they would either rent or purchase and play around at home. They would assemble the robot from scratch, and they would start writing different code, different solutions for this robot. So it is possible to do e-learning, and it is possible to do hands-on. And because of that experience, right now, we at University of Tartu, due to this COVID-19 pandemic, quickly adopted this methodology and some other approaches to foster practical assignments for our students. So first, following the previous example, we do lend out some of university's equipment so that students can use it at home to complete labs. And this equipment goes into rotation. Also, we are being inventive. We try to think what pieces of technology students already have at home. For instance, most of us have a smartphone at home, but how many of us think that a smartphone is really fancy sensor for robotics? It contains a compass. It can measure its orientation and acceleration, and it can also act as a video sensor, video camera. So by using a smartphone and integrating this into our engineering tasks, we already have like a tiny piece of high-tech robotic sensor at home. And thirdly, we've also connected some of our robots to internet so that students can, when solving problems, upload their solution code to those internet-connected robots and then observe from a web camera how that robot behaves. So e-learning is definitely a possibility, and we're using this aggressively at University of Tartu.